Well, hello everyone. How's life doing today? In this video, we're going to discuss the next topic of TOEFL grammar. The material that we're going to learn today will be a little bit complicated, so please watch it very carefully. And if you have questions regarding the topic that we're going to discuss today, please write down the questions in the comment section. Well, okay. The material that we're going to discuss today is about problems with adjective and adverbs. See this. Many different problems with adjectives and adverbs are possible in expression questions on the TOEFL test. To identify these problems, you must first be able to recognize adjectives and adverbs. Often, adverbs are formed by adding ly. Often, just note that it's just often. This one. Okay. To adjective and to adjective it means like adverbs are formed by adding ly to adjective, and these ly adverbs are very easy to recognize. The following are examples show adverbs that are formed by adding ly to adjectives. This one, ly, and ly here. From recent to recently, from public to publicly, from evident evidently. So this adjective, if we add ly, it will become adverbs. Some, just like many adverbs, are ended with ly, but not all of the adverbs are ended with ly. Okay, so how do we recognize adverbs then? There are three things that you can use. These adverbs can be recognized from their meanings. They can describe when something happens, just like often, soon, later. How something happens, just like fast, hard, and well. Or where something happened. Here, there, and nowhere. Okay. Remember, and there is no fastly in English. No fastly. While hard, and there is hardly in English. But it has different meaning. Okay. There are three skills involving adjectives and adverbs that will help you on when expression questions on TOEFL test. First, knowing when to use adjectives and adverbs. Then, using adjectives rather than adverbs after linking verb. So after linking verb, it should be followed by adjective. And the third, positioning adjectives and adverbs correctly. So three skills. Okay. First skill, use basic adjectives and adverbs correctly. You have to understand this very well, because this is going to be the foundation of this topic. Sometimes on questions TOEFL test, adjectives are used in a place of adverbs sometimes. Or adverbs are used in place of adjectives. Adjectives and adverbs have very different uses. Adjectives have only one job. What is that? They describe nouns and pronouns. Okay. Once again, adjectives describe nouns and pronouns. Nouns, for example, are bags, and then woman, and then a car. And the pronouns, just like they, she, it, yeah. So adjectives describe this kind of things. See this example. She is a beautiful woman. Beautiful here is an adjective, and it describes not the noun woman. Okay, and she is beautiful. Here, adjective here. Explain the word pronoun she. And so adjective, describe pronoun or noun. In the first example, the adjective beautiful describes the noun woman. In the second example, the adjective beautiful describes the pronoun she. Adverbs, okay, we all know that now we know that adjectives have only one job, which is describing nouns and pronouns. While adverbs do three different things. They describe verbs, they describe adjectives, and they describe other adverbs. So three. Okay, let's move on. Here is an example. The first sentence, she sings beautifully. Beautifully here explains the way she sings. So beautifully explains sings. Verb sings is a verb. So it is an adverb because it describes a verb. She is, sentence number two. She is beautifully dressed. Woman. Beautifully here. Explain the word dressed. While dress, explain or describe the word woman. Beautifully, describe adjective. Dress. Well, this adjective describe noun. So in this case, beautifully, an adverb which describes an adjective dressed. Number three. She is truly beautifully dressed woman. So once again, truly describe dress. The beautifully described dress, beg your pardon. And truly here describes beautifully. So truly describes beautifully, just beautifully describes dress. Truly described an adverb. Beautifully describes an adjective. Truly here is an adverb as well. Okay. Now you see that adverb can describe verb and then adjective and also another adverb. This thing cannot be described by adjective because adjective can only describe noun or pronoun. Okay. Wow. You have to pay attention to this matter very carefully. Okay, let's move on. So this example. We have three sentences here. Sentence number one. They were seated at a large lee table. Here it explains this. We all know that adverbs cannot explain noun. It has to be not adverb but adjective. So here it is incorrect. Okay, number two. The child thought quick. Quick here is an adjective. And we all know that adjective only describes noun and pronouns. It cannot describe a verb. So while it is a verb, so it is incorrect. It has to be an adverb here. Number three. We read an extreme long story. Adjective cannot describe another adjective. So it is incorrect. It has to be adverb. Okay, because adverb can describe verb, once again, adjective, and another adverb. Okay, so let's move on. It is. Adjectives describes noun or pronouns, while adverbs describes verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. Yeah, it's very, I think I have mentioned it so many times. Okay, we're going to discuss one example of questions here. Number one, it is incorrect. My mother was pleasant, surprised. Mother, yeah, okay, surprised when her daughter came to visit. Pleasant is an adjective and it cannot explain or describe another adjective. Well, actually, this surprise here, it's okay to explain the mother here because it is noun. The thing that is wrong is the person. It has to be an adverb here. The mother was pleasantly surprised, for example. Okay. Yep. I think it's very clear. And we're going to move on to the second skill. We're going to talk about linking verbs. Use adjectives after linking verbs. First of all, we need to know what actually linking verbs are. Well, linking verbs are verbs that do not explain an activity. No, it doesn't explain activity, but instead it describes the noun or the pronoun, usually as the subject. Okay, for example, I say this. She spoke nicely. Spoke here is an activity. Okay, and I say she spoke nicely. Spoke here, we know that spoke is from speak. It's an activity, so it is not a linking verb. So after this, it is okay to write down nicely an adverb. Okay, but let's see this following example, then you're going to know what actually linking verbs are. Okay, this. The previous example mentioned that she spoke nicely. Let's see this. She looks nice. Looks here, it's a linking verb. In Bahasa, we call it terlihat. Yeah, terlihat is not an activity, just like a verb that describes the subject. Okay. Oh, it's going to like, oh, looks nice. What is it? Looks nice, the subject. So it doesn't describe any activity at all. So this kind of verb, which doesn't describe um, activity, we call it as linking verbs. Some literature might also describe or may also mention to be as a linking verb as well, part of linking verb, because it doesn't show any activity. Okay, is, am, are, was, were, be, been, and being, they are categorized as linking verbs as well. So after this kind of verbs, linking verbs should be followed by adjective, not adverb. Okay, you should be sure to use an adjective rather than an adverb after a linking verb. Be careful, however, because the adjective that goes with the linking verb does not always directly follow the linking verb. Does not always. It means that, for example, A, B, C, D. This is the linking verb. It doesn't have to be here, the adjective. It can be here. Okay, so it doesn't have to be here. It here is okay, but also here is okay as well. Say this. He seems unusually nice. The adjective is nice here. And seems is a linking verb. Okay, and usually here is an adverb. It is fine. Yeah, it is fine. But if we take away nice here, it seems unusual, it becomes incorrect. Okay, it is okay to put nice after an adverb. The thing is, you have to put the adjective after the linking verb. Okay, yeah, that's it. I think that's it for this skill. Now see this pointing. Yeah. So basically, if you use regular verb, it should be followed by adverb. But if it is a linking verb, it should be followed by adjective. And also, after a linking verb, it doesn't have to be directly. It is okay if it is not directly. It's like this one here, adjective, and previously used adverb. Okay. These are the examples of linking verb. These are not all. These are not all examples of the linking verb. You can surf in the internet to find out more example of the linking verb. Sometimes to be also is also categorized as a linking verb as well. Okay, let's move on to the last skill. Okay. Position adjectives and adverbs correctly. So we're going to talk about positions here. Adverbs can appear in incorrect position in written expressions and simple tasks. There are two common errors this type that you should be aware of. First, position of adjective with the nouns that describe, and the position of adverbs with objects. In English, it is correct to place one word adjective in front of the noun that describes. Okay, for example, this. So, however, an incorrect sentence might have an adjective after the noun. So the thing is, if it's a one word adjective, it is okay to be put before the noun. So this, for example, good boy. Good here is an adjective and boy here is the noun. So we write down good before the boy. But in the example, the information important is on the first page. It is incorrect. It should be the important information is on the first page because it is adjective and one word, and it should be put before the noun. Okay, that's the first thing. Okay, and after that about adverbs. Okay, actually adverbs can be written like in many places. A second problem you should be aware of is position of adverb of subject verb when a verb has an object. Once again, when a verb has an object, an adverb describing the verb should not come between the verb and its object. If, for example, say this example, the verb, it has an object, okay? You cannot write down the adverb between the verb and the object. It is incorrect. Once again, if the verb has an object, you cannot write down the adverb between the verb and the object. So where can we write down the adverb? First, you can use this way, beginning, and here before the verb, and also in the end of the sentence. So three ways, but we cannot write it between the verb and also the object. Yep, I think that's it for the third skill. So there's one where adjectives comes before the noun it describes, and it does not come directly after. An adverb can appear in many positions, but it cannot be used between a verb and its object. Okay, I think we need to discuss some of the examples. Number one, the store opened with a sale fantastic. Fantastic an adjective, it describes the sale, a sale. So it has to be with a fantastic sale, not sale fantastic. Okay, and this just like this. The pharmacist has always filled our order quickly. Always explains filled, and quickly also explains filled. So that is fine. Is an adverb, is an adverb. Because you feel what our order here is the noun. So as long as you do not put the adverb between filled and our order, it is fine. So if I say use adverb here, it is incorrect. So because this is the verb, and also this one is the noun. Okay, everyone, I think that's it for the explanation of this topic. And I believe that this is going to be, what is it, it's challenging for you. But don't worry, I'm going to answer the questions as soon as possible, as soon as I can. So please make sure that you understand these materials very well. Well, I think that is for the day. Have a good day.